Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a realistic week of meals. I absolutely love showing you guys what I cook, what I bake, and basically anything food related that I get up to. So I thought I would basically film every meal that I have this week. I did recently do a full what I eat in a day, so check that out if you haven't already. But this is mainly just gonna be random meals in the week, some food inspo, and of course I'll be sharing the recipes to every meal that I make down in the description below. One of my favourite hobbies is cooking. I love cooking for myself and for the people that I love, so I'm really excited for this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So it's currently dinner time and it is our first meal of the week, and tonight we're doing something I've seen all over TikTok, which is the Big Mac tacos. I'll link the TikTok down below, but essentially what it is small tacos with minced meat pressed into them, so you can fold it up and have it kind of like a Big Mac. This is what they should look like. I have made them before and they are 10/10, so they have been requested for tonight's dinner, and then I'm just gonna make some fries to go with them. So these are my ingredients. We have the beef mince and the tacos. We have American cheese, plastic cheese, I call it plastic cheese, but this goes on the minced meat. We have our toppings, so we have lettuce, it's just one tomato because only I like tomatoes. And then for the Big Mac sauce, I'm gonna combine ketchup, mayo, and of course gherkins. I'm gonna have to make a separate one for me because Ben doesn't like gherkins. And of course we have my potatoes here ready for my fries. So I've just put some water on the hob to boil whilst I chop up my potatoes, and we are gonna start with making our fries. I normally go for thin cut just because I like them to be quite crispy, but I have tried wedges as well and they're equally good. I'm gonna put these in the air fryer as well just because, I don't know, I like to use the max crisp setting on my air fryer. So I'm gonna cut these up quite thinly, probably like 1 centimetre. Also, excuse the fit, I've just had a shower, so I'm in my pyjamas. I think I'm gonna do one more because I don't think that's enough. So that's all my fries chopped up, and I'm gonna parboil them for about 5 minutes to get them soft enough so I can chuck them in the air fryer. In they go. So whilst my fries are parboiling, I'm gonna go ahead and make the kind of drizzle that I put over them to add a bit of flavour. So I'm gonna add some olive oil, some Italian style herbs, some garlic granules, and some smoked paprika. Give that a bit of a mix and that will be ready when the fries are done. So I've drained my fries. I'm just gonna put them back in the saucepan because it makes it easier to coat them. And I'm gonna drizzle what I made earlier. And I'm just gonna shake them to coat them in that drizzle. So now that they're all nice and coated, I'm gonna put them into the air fryer. And I'm going to put them in there for about 10 to 15 minutes on 200 degrees. Now that my chips are in the air fryer, I'm going to go ahead and start with the tacos. So I'm going to do 2 each, and I'm going to cut my mince up into tiny balls, and I'm going to press them into the tacos. Okay, now that I've divided my beef mince up, I'm basically just going to place them on my tortillas and smush them around until they hit the edge of the tortilla. You want to do a thin enough patty so the bottom of it does get cooked, but not too thin where you barely have any meat on it. So that's my first two done. I'm just going to season them with some salt and pepper. And I'm going to quickly do the other two. Okay, so I'm just going to put some olive oil on the pan. And I'm just going to put the taco straight on the pan, pressing down so the bottom gets cooked. And I'm going to fry it for about 2 to 3 minutes. So my tacos are done, my fries are done. I'm just now going to make the burger sauce and chop up the toppings that we're having on top of our tacos. So I'm just going to chop up some lettuce just in half to go on top. Some tomato on mine. And then for the burger sauce, I'm going to be doing ketchup and mayo. And then I'm going to chop up some gherkins and put them in mine. But Ben doesn't like gherkins, so I'm going to do it separately. Assemble his, and then I'll assemble mine. So I'm just going to assemble Ben's. These look so good. Some burger sauce down. Some lettuce, and then I'm going to put my fries on the side. This is how the fries are looking like. Absolutely delicious. And that is my very first dinner plated up for the week. Big Mac tacos with homemade fries. Looks unreal. I'm going to give it to Ben and then I'm going to dish up mine. I've just chopped up some gherkin to go in my burger sauce. And this is mine. That just looks so good. Taste test of the tacos. So good. Slaps every time. And then the fries. Super crispy. This is literally like a bakery. We're starting the week off with a bakery. Hi guys and good morning and welcome to my second meal of the week. This will probably be the only time you see my breakfast because I am a creature of habit, and to be honest, for the last couple months I have just had this on repeat, so it would be really boring if I film it 5 times, but I'm going to show you this morning. And my go-to breakfast at the moment is loaded porridge. What I mean by that is basic porridge with endless toppings basically. So I've got my Scottish oats. I prefer just the oats like this so I can boil them instead of like the ready-made ones, just because I feel like I like the crunch. I don't like them too watery, I kind of like them thick. And I always have them with milk because again, I don't like runny porridge. Then this is where the endless toppings come in. So I like to have my porridge with honey. And then on top, I also do some peanut butter as well. Then on top, I'm gonna do some flaked almonds, some dark chocolate chips, which makes a difference. Then for fruit today, I'm gonna do strawberries, and I'm also gonna chop up an apple as well. I put my porridge in. I don't think this one has enough in it, but we'll see. I like to do quite a lot of porridge because I feel like it fills me up for the morning. And then I'm just gonna put the hob on a low heat for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then we'll get started on our toppings. So whilst that is cooking, I'm gonna chop up my strawberries and apple. So that's my porridge all done. And I thought instead of the honey, today I'll do some protein powder instead. I'm gonna do about half a scoop which is about 15 grams. We have tried this before, and I think that's the cookies and cream flavour. And it is really tasty, so I thought I'd do it again. I'm just going to put it into my bowl. This is such an easy but filling breakfast. Oh, I absolutely love it. Okay, and now I'm going to put my fruit on. My flaked almonds. My chocolate chips. And a spoonful of peanut butter as well. And that is my very simple but filling and delicious porridge that I have every single day without fail. That is my porridge bowl, of course. We're gonna do a little taste test. That was delicious. The protein powder was a good shout. So it's currently lunchtime, and for today's lunch I thought I would use up what we had left from dinner last night, that being the tortillas and the beef mince. And essentially I'm gonna make a taco bowl. So I'm gonna fry the beef mince with some fajita seasoning. I'm going to put my tortillas in the air fryer because this is my favourite thing to do for like a quick lunch. You just cut them up into tiny small triangles, put them in the air fryer for like 5 minutes, and you have yourself homemade tortilla chips. And then I'm just gonna have some of the salad. I have avocado, smashed avocado. I've got some cream cheese and normal cheese to put on top. So we're gonna get ahead and start making this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut my tortillas up and get them in the air fryer. I've got 2 spare, but I'm probably not gonna need that many tortillas, so we will see. And then I'm just gonna chop some pepper up to put into my mince. And then I'm just gonna put my tortillas into the air fryer. These can kind of fly up and get stuck to the top, so you do have to be careful, kind of check them every, honestly, 30 seconds or so is annoying, but they get stuck to the top and they burn. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna fry off my mince, and we're just gonna season it with some fajita seasoning. This is definitely not the best utensil, but I'm sticking with it. So that's my beef mince done. I forgot to put the peppers in, so I just chucked them in at the end. And my tortilla chips are also done. And I'm just chopping up some salad to go in the bowl as well. We've got our mincemeat and peppers. We've got our salad as well. We've got our cheese, which I'm just gonna grate on top of the mincemeat. Normally I would have this with rice as well, but we don't have any, so. And then I'm just gonna put some smashed avocado on the side, as well as some sour cream. I'm not gonna put the cream cheese in, I'm just gonna do the sour cream instead. I almost forgot the best bit, which is our homemade tortillas. I did let these get a bit too crispy. Normally they're not that crispy, but it's fine. I'm sure they're still delicious. And that is my very simple taco bowl. Okay, taste test of course. First, the tortilla chips on their own. So good. And my beef and peppers. Delicious. Literally took me 10 minutes. Super simple, easy, but really nice. So it is time for dinner, and for tonight's dinner I am doing a staple that everyone loves. It's really easy because I don't have it long, and yeah, it's just really tasty. So for tonight we are having halloumi and chorizo pasta. Again, this recipe is on TikTok. I feel like that's where I get all my meal inspos from. So what we're gonna do is, we've got our pasta. I'm just gonna put that on the stove behind me. We've got our chorizo, some halloumi, I love halloumi, some soft cheese. You can also use mascarpone as well, some garlic, and some chopped tomatoes. You can use any sort of tomatoey base or sauce with that as well. I've also got all my seasonings over there, which I'll show you when it actually gets around to frying everything. But for now, I'm gonna put my pasta into the saucepan. This is, I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it, but it's like a squiggly pasta. I'll show you. It looks like this. So I'm gonna put that on the hob now. Whilst my pasta is boiling, I'm just gonna chop up the chorizo. I don't know how much I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna start with half because there's only 2 of us. And I'm just going to cut this into small cubes. My chorizo is done, and now I'm gonna do the halloumi. Again, not gonna do all of it, but I'm gonna chop this into cubes. Okay, so my pan is on, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add my chorizo in. And once I've fried that off, I'm just gonna add in my halloumi, along with some chopped garlic. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and I'm gonna now put my seasoning on. So 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, 1 teaspoon of onion granules, 1 teaspoon of the Italian herb seasoning, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and some salt and pepper. Not too much of the salt and pepper because the halloumi is quite salty as it is. Okay, so now it's time to add my chopped tomatoes in. And I've got this on a low heat as well. Now I put my soft cheese in, I'm using about 3/4 of the tub. So the pasta's done, and what I'm going to do is just grab a ladle of pasta water to add it into my sauce, just to thicken the sauce up a bit. Pasta is drained, and in it goes into the sauce. That smells unreal. This is what it's looking like. Absolutely delicious. I'm going to use the ladle I used earlier so it can give it a lot easier. And this is what it looks like. Absolutely delicious, and I think I'm going to put some parmesan on it as well. And this is it with my parmesan on. Okay, taste test. So good. There's a reason why this is probably my favourite meal to cook. And a favourite of Ben's. I think this is Ben's favourite meal. So definitely worth making, guys. It is divine. Hi guys, and welcome back to yet again another meal. And tonight we are cooking creamy garlic noodles with Katsu chicken. That's what it looks like. I got this recipe off of The Good Bite. I absolutely love this website, and they also have a TikTok as well, and honestly most of my meals come from them. So these are our ingredients. I have egg noodles, we have the chicken breast, which I'm going to coat in flour and breadcrumbs as well, and I've got an egg for that. And for our sauce, I've got soy sauce, honey, garlic. This is ginger, actually. I need to get the garlic. We've got mange to go with it, and some cucumber to go on the side. I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees, and we're gonna start with getting the chicken prepped. I'm gonna fry it and then put it in the oven for about 10 minutes or until it's fully cooked. So we're gonna start with the chicken, and I'm gonna butterfly it, which essentially means cutting it in half to make it thinner. Like so. That is not the best attempt, but you kind of get the gist. So I've just covered the chicken with cling film so we can basically bash it to make it thin as possible. I've transferred them onto a bigger tray so I can actually do it properly. You want them to be about 2 to 3 centimetres thick. So I think that's perfect. I'm going to season these with salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and coat these chicken breasts in breadcrumbs. So I've got my egg, I've got my flour, and I've got my breadcrumbs. So we're gonna coat the chicken breast in flour first. Might have needed a bigger bowl to do this. And then we're gonna put them into the egg and then into the breadcrumbs. And then the next one. So I've coated my chicken breasts and we're gonna shallow fry them in the pan for about 3 to 4 minutes each side. So my chicken is done and I'm gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 180. Okay, so my chicken's in the oven. I've got a pan ready for me to put my noodles in. And I'm just gonna do the sauce. So I'm gonna put some oil in. I'm gonna fry off my garlic. This isn't fresh garlic, but it'll do. In some chopped up peppers. I'm gonna add in my honey and soy sauce. I've got this on a low heat, by the way. So my noodle's nearly done, so I'm going to add in a ladle of pasta water, as well as my mange too. I'm not going to do the whole bag. So my noodles are drained, so I'm going to add those in. And my chicken is all done, so I'm going to put that on the side whilst my noodles continue finishing off. So I'm just going to dish up my noodles first. There is a lot of noodles. So my camera did die, but this is the finished product. I don't know, it looks pretty good if you ask me. Even though my camera died, I'm still going to do a little taste test. I think we did way too many noodles, but I'm still going to try it. Really good. Hi guys, so it's now a couple days later and I basically didn't film anything else after that last meal. We did have McDonald's, which was really nice, but I hope the ones I did show were interesting and I hope you got a lot of meal inspo as well. If you did like this video, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe, and do let me know in the comments down below if you want to see any more videos like this or any other week of meals. But yeah, that's the end of this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!